Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV coming to you live with some breaking news. Hopefully everybody can hear me and see me. You know what? I'll check for a second. Can you guys hear me and see me? Testing 1, 2, 3. I am still in Mexico City. I am not in my normal studio, so I'm sorry if it doesn't look and sound like it normally does, but it sounds like people can see me. Okay. Good. FBI Director Christopher Wray has announced that he is going to resign and step down in January. And, you know, President Trump had already said he was going to nominate Kash Patel to be the FBI director, which implied that he was going to fire Christopher Wray. Christopher Wray, I believe, is in the 7th year of a 10-year term. But he has just announced he's going to resign in January. So we want to talk about that, get some of your comments and questions on the air. You can write to me on X at Lookner on X. Also, thanks to our moderators who are here. We have Roberts Mayqueen and Ruth Krafasi over there on YouTube. Beth Mythical is there. Linda Belk and Larry on X. Also over on Twitch, we have our moderators. Hang on a moment here. On Twitch, we have our moderators. I opened the wrong link. Sorry. The link I want is, where is it here? Where is my link? Now here it is. There it is. Big Ball of Yarn and Surly Dev are moderating over there on Twitch. And also thanks to our Facebook moderators. Oh, actually, we don't have, we're not live streaming on Facebook right now because Facebook is having issues today. So welcome to any Facebook viewers who might be here. Sorry if you normally watch on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook is not working. Jesse's girl said, no, a head crash says he quit, not fired. Well, he announced his resignation after the president-elect implied he was going to fire him, to be clear. Okay, here is, let's get some updates here. There's an article from AP right there. And by the way, I want to say a quick thank you to... hang on a second here. Thanks so much to PZ Papa Zulu for the gift memberships, and also Dolores Wilson and Jasper Axelrad. Thanks for your support, Jasper. Okay. LOL says he quit because he was going to be fired. Okay, here we go. FBI Director Wray says he intends to resign at the end of Biden's term in January. FBI Director Wray, Christopher Wray, said today, hold on a second, let me do something here. Said today he plans to resign at the end of Biden's term in January, so he will not serve under Trump. Will Trump's nominee get confirmed? That's a whole other question. Hang on and give me one. Actually, I need 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. I need 1 moment. I need about 30 seconds. Aaron C. says, Christopher Wray, you're fired. Hold on here. Let's see here. What is this? I need to find here. There you go. There we go. Okay. Christopher Wray, FBI Director, said today he plans to resign at the end of President Biden's term in January, an announcement that came a week and a half after President-elect Donald Trump announced his intention to nominate loyalist Kash Patel for the job. Will Kash Patel be confirmed? I have no idea. At a town hall meeting with the Bureau workforce, Wray said he would be stepping down after weeks of careful thought. Wray's intended resignation is not unexpected, considering that Trump had picked Patel for the role in his new administration. So all signs were that Trump was going to fire Christopher Wray. Wray had previously been named by Trump and began the 10-year term, a length meant to insulate the agency from the political influence of changing administrations in 2017. So he was nominated by Trump after Trump fired James Comey in 2017. Trump had telegraphed his anger with Wray on multiple occasions, including after Wray's congressional testimony in September, but the soft-spoken director rarely seemed to go out of his way to publicly confront the White House. Our viewer Joe Dirt says Wray is bad, but Patel is a nightmare. Mick Latro says Wray better not bleach bit his phone. Our viewer Dave Watts says Biden will blanket pardon Wray. Ryan Jaeger says Kash needs to go after him and all the other. Did Trump say literally, I'm going to fire Wray? I thought he just said, I'm going to nominate Patel, which would mean he's going to fire Wray. I don't remember the exact True Social post. I'd have to find it on his True Social. Chappie says Wray did nothing wrong. I don't know how easy it is going to be to find the Kash Patel post, because Trump retweets a lot of stuff. So I have to scroll back through a lot to find the Kash Patel post. I'm scrolling a bunch on Trump's True Social. Oh, actually, I bet I'll find it. It was a week and a half ago. So that would be around like the 1st or something. I bet I can find it. Okay, here it is. I found it. Hey, I found it. So here was Trump's... So I was right. He didn't specifically say fire Wray, did he? Because I don't see the word Wray in here. Trump had said on November 30th, I am proud to announce that Kash Patel will serve as the next director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Kash is a brilliant lawyer, investigator, and American first fighter who has spent his career exposing corruption, defending justice, and protecting the American people. He played a pivotal role in uncovering the Russia hoax, standing as an advocate for truth, accountability in the Constitution. Kash did an incredible job during my first term, where he served as Chief of Staff at the Department of Defense, Deputy Director of National Intelligence, and Senior Director of Counterterrorism at the National Security Council. Kash has also tried over 60 jury trials. This FBI will end the growing crime epidemic in America, dismantle the migrant criminal gangs, and stop the evil scourge of human and drug trafficking across the border. Kash will work under our great Attorney General, Pam Bondi, to bring back fidelity, bravery, and integrity to the FBI. It's not clear that Kash Patel will be confirmed. So you can see there's nothing in there about him, specifically about him firing Wray, but it's implied because, why would he be nominating? How could he nominate somebody else if he didn't fire the person who is currently in the job? Please stop mentioning this story that an Iranian ship is firing drones over New Jersey. Do you really think that the U.S. couldn't detect that an Iranian ship was off the coast of the U.S. firing drones over New Jersey, and that the U.S. would allow this to happen? Do you really think this? I ask again, do you really think in your heart of hearts, in your brain of brains, that the U.S. would allow Iran to park an Iranian ship off the coast of the U.S. and fight and launch drones for a month and a half over New Jersey? You really believe this? Oh my gosh. The Pentagon, I believe, already said there's nothing, it's not true, if I have that right. I was trying to not talk about it. Maybe people just wanted to trick me into talking about it. But I mean, really? Stop it in the chat. Just stop it. Yes, the Pentagon, I am seeing multiple reports that they denied that there is Iran is launching drones from a mothership over New Jersey. We may at some point do a story on the drones, possibly, but please stop with the Iran stuff. Okay, back to this story. The New York Times, by the way, says Wray's resignation was not unexpected, but former and current FBI agents say the news hit hard, and they are wary of what Kash Patel could do at the Bureau if he is confirmed. Let me show you some more updates on this story. FBI Director Wray to resign following Trump nomination of Patel. FBI Director Reuters reports that FBI Director Wray will step down from his post early next year, the Bureau said today, after Republican President-elect Trump signaled his intent to fire the veteran official and replace him with firebrand Kash Patel. We might do a poll on whether Kash Patel will be confirmed by the Senate. Trump himself had appointed Wray, a fellow Republican, to his 10-year term in 2017 after firing James Comey, who the then president soured on over the FBI's investigations into alleged contacts between his 2016 campaign and Russia. Wray told employees today, after weeks of careful thought, I've decided the right thing for the FBI is for me to serve until the end of the current administration in January and then step down. In a statement to Reuters, Kash Patel, Trump's nominee, said he looks forward to a smooth transition. He said, I will be ready to serve the American people on day one. Trump and his hardline allies turned on Christopher Wray and the FBI more generally after FBI agents conducted a court-approved search of Trump's Florida resort in 2022 to recover classified documents that Trump had retained after leaving office. That sparked one of two federal prosecutions Trump faced while out of power, neither of which went to trial. Trump denied wrongdoing and described all the cases against him as politically motivated. Federal prosecutors ended their efforts after the election, citing long-standing Justice Department policy to not prosecute a sitting president. Trump's Republican allies joined him in alleging that the FBI had become politicized, though there is no evidence that Democratic President Joe Biden interfered with the FBI's investigative processes. Republican U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty said in early December, there are serious problems at the FBI. The American public knows it. They expect to see sweeping change. We'll talk about Kash Patel in a second. I'm going to do a flash poll here before we even talk about Kash Patel. Will Kash Patel, Trump's nominee, be confirmed by the Senate as FBI director? Yes or no? I'm doing a poll right now. Okay, I just posted it on YouTube. Now I am posting it on Twitch. Thanks, by the way, to J-Tide for subscribing on Twitch, and I appreciate that. All right, let's see what you guys say about this. We're going to talk about Kash Patel in a second, but I said, will Kash Patel be confirmed as FBI Director by the Senate? And so far we have 82% of you saying yes on YouTube. And on Twitch we have... 69% say yes on Twitch. A flash quick poll. Big Al says the 17% who say no on YouTube are rhinos. Hey, thanks to Mystical, our new member. And also thanks so much to Radio Chaos from Canada for your support and your comment. I really appreciate that, Radio Chaos. Christie thinks if he doesn't get confirmed, he will become a recess appointment. Well, I think the Senate would have to allow Trump to do a recess appointment, but that's what Christie thinks. He's getting in one way or the other, says Christie. Kelly McAlien thinks the left is scrambling to find some dirt on Kash and having difficulty. Our viewer Unleashed Flute says, imagine thinking the Republican Senate is going to stop Trump from doing anything. I mean, someone might argue they stopped him from appointing Matt Gaetz because, I mean, the reporting suggested that Matt Gaetz withdrew his nomination because he didn't think he would get confirmed, although they never had a vote on him. Hey, let me just read a little more from this Reuters article again. Chris Wray, the current FBI director who was reported by, thanks for voting in our poll. So most of you think Kash Patel will be confirmed. Chris Wray, who was appointed by Trump back in 2017 and still has 3 years left on his 10-year term, says he will resign in January before Trump takes office. It appeared that Trump was going to fire him. Truth WSYF says Trump has a mandate. One of our viewers on Twitch, Ellie Travels, says they may stop Tulsi Gabbard from getting confirmed. All right, let me just read you a little more here from Reuters. Throughout his term, Wray said that he followed the law and strove to impartially carry out the FBI's duties. During a 2023 hearing before a House of Representatives panel, he rebuffed the idea that he was pursuing a Democratic partisan agenda, noting that he had been a lifelong Republican. He said, he told the House of Representatives, the idea that I am biased against conservatives seems somewhat insane to me given my own personal background. FBI directors are appointed for 10-year terms, a measure meant to avoid the appearance of partisanship after political turnover in the White House every 4 years. Wray's term was not due to expire until 2027. And Reuters says, as Trump has built out his roster of cabinet officials over the past few weeks, he has assembled a team ready to carry out two of his biggest priorities, says Reuters: retribution against his political adversaries and a wholesale reshaping of the U.S. government. You know, it's interesting. One of our viewers said that Joe Biden would give Christopher Wray a preemptive pardon. There's speculation that, and there's been some reporting that Joe Biden is considering giving preemptive pardons to people that he thinks the Trump White House might target for retribution. The Trump Justice Department might target for retribution, like Jack Smith say and Liz Cheney. Would Christopher Wray be on that list? And remember, a president can pardon somebody for any federal crimes, even those that they have not been charged with yet. So when Trump issued his pardon to Hunter, when President Biden issued his pardon to Hunter Biden, that covered any possible federal crime that Hunter Biden might have committed between 2014 and December 1st of this year. So President Biden could say, hey, I am pardoning Christopher Wray for anything he might have done, any kind of federal crime. He doesn't have to think he did a federal crime, but he can just say, he can't be charged with one because I'm pardoning him preemptively in advance for anything you might charge him with. And it can be for any amount of time. So we'll see what happens with that. That's a whole other interesting question. Kash Patel. Let's talk about Kash Patel again. Again, Trump has already nominated Kash Patel. So Trump implied he was going to fire Christopher Wray anyway. Kash Patel, who would need to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate, has never worked at the FBI and only spent 3 years at the Justice Department earlier in his career in the National Security Division's counterterrorism section. If Kash Patel is confirmed, he has pledged to shut down the FBI's headquarters building in Washington and drastically redefine the FBI's role with intelligence gathering. Throughout Trump's first term, Trump repeatedly mused about the idea of replacing Wray for not being forceful enough in defending him from the 2016 investigation. But former Attorney General Bill Barr resisted such efforts, says Reuters. Barr recounted this in his book. Wray, in his address to FBI employees today, urged them to continue to focus on their mission to keep Americans safe. He said, my goal is to keep the focus on our mission, the indispensable work you're doing on behalf of the American people every day. And he said, in my view, this is the best way to avoid dragging the Bureau deeper into the fray while reinforcing the values and principles that are so important to how we do our work. Let me take some more comments from you guys on this. What do you think? Christopher Wray resigning, basically before he was fired. Terry Bryant says, I know we need big changes. Colin Silver says Wray should be in jail soon. Now, I'm not sure which specific crime or crimes Colin thinks Wray committed, but Colin thinks Wray should be in jail soon. Jim says, is this what Republicans voted for, more lawyers? Let's see here. Voltron Nam in Twitch says, we are so screwed, RIP USA, RIP DOJ. STQRM17 Rider says you don't need a pardon if you aren't guilty, period. So what I think you're saying is that you believe you won't get convicted of something if you're not guilty. But a reason Joe Biden might issue preemptive pardons to people he think have not committed any crimes is if Joe Biden believes that the Trump Justice Department will bring unwarranted charges against people. That could certainly prevent difficulties for those people, even if they are not ultimately convicted. So President Biden, if he feels that way, that would be a motivation for him to bring to preemptively pardon someone, even if he thought they did not commit any crimes, and also even if they thought they would be acquitted by a jury. KC says, I have to think a preemptive pardon is not going to pass constitutional challenge. No, that is understood. That is the legal consensus. That is not in legal question. As I'm aware, it is from what I understand, a settled matter of constitutional law that a president can issue preemptive pardons. Christie thinks that if he accepts it, Wray's career might be over. You mean if Patel accepts the job and if he's confirmed? Let's see. Fresh Cake says Biden doesn't need a reason. I thought I ended the poll, but it's still up there in the chat on YouTube. Hold on a second. There it is. Lil Graham thinks that Trump will do retribution, so it would be a good move by Biden to issue preemptive pardons. Let's see here. Mona thinks Wray dropped the ball big time with a lot of things. Didn't do a good job, period. Gizmo Hardy thinks Wray's career was over on Election Day. Hey, thank you, D. D says wanting justice is not retribution. Let me show you a little more from that Reuters article. It said, FISA warrants January 6 probes. The FBI has faced increasing criticism by Trump supporters for its various roles in investigating Trump over the years. Some of the concerns predated Wray's tenure, including several damning reports by the Justice Department's Inspector General, which faulted the Bureau for making numerous errors in its warrant applications to the FISA court during its early investigations into Trump's 2016 campaign known as Crossfire Hurricane. During his tenure, Wray has overseen reforms of the FBI's processes for securing FISA warrants. The FBI during Wray's time has also played a major role in helping to investigate and arrest many of Trump's supporters who stormed the Capitol on January 6, 2021. More than 1,500 people were criminally charged in the attack. Trump has pledged to grant clemency to some of the January 6 defendants, though he has not provided details. Throughout his time as FBI director, Wray has been known for his hawkish views on China and has frequently warned that China represents the biggest national and economic security threat facing the United States. He started his career at the Justice Department in 1997 as a federal prosecutor in the Atlanta-based Northern District of Georgia. And again, he said he is going to resign before Trump fires him when Trump takes over. Blue Lotus says Wray has spent the last 3 years going after Trump. Never mind the Biden crime family. Bad Luck Schleprock says if he's smart, he will move to Switzerland. Heather here says Christopher Wray was appointed by Trump. True. All right, hang on a moment here. One moment. One moment. We got to talk about Kash Patel a little bit. The Washington Post points out that the FBI has 35,000 people working for it. They said that Wray announced he would resign before Trump takes office and can fire him. And, as we've talked about, the Washington Post says FBI directors have 10-year terms. And that 10-year span is meant to span multiple administrations and is intentionally longer than other executive branch appointments to avoid politicization of the politicization. No, it's I can't even say the word. Politicization. Politicization. I think I got it. I keep saying politicization. Politicization of the FBI. There you go. The 10-year term is supposed to avoid this situation where you have each new president appointing their own FBI director. Although, ultimately it's up to the president whether they want to fire someone. And it says here, Trump announced last month he would nominate loyalist Kash Patel to serve as FBI director, sending a message to Wray that he should either resign or prepare to be fired. By the way, has Trump yet spoken about this Wray resignation on his Truth Social today? It just happened. He just said, hey, we have an update from Donald Trump. Look, news update. News update. Trump has posted on his Truth Social about this. News update. The resignation of Christopher Wray is a great day for America, as it will end the weaponization of what has become known as the United States Department of Injustice. I just don't know what happened to him. Remember, Trump nominated him. We will now restore the rule of law for all Americans. Under the leadership of Christopher Wray, the FBI illegally raided my home without cause, worked diligently on illegally impeaching and indicting me. Now, I'm not sure why he's saying this was illegal. He's not saying that, but he is claiming it was illegal, these things. He says, and has done everything else to interfere with the success and future of America. They have used their vast powers to threaten and destroy many innocent Americans, some of which will never be able to recover from what has been done to them. Kash Patel, he says, is the most qualified nominee to lead the FBI in the agency's history and is committed to helping ensure that law, order, and justice will be brought back to our country again, and soon. He says, as everyone knows, I have great respect for the rank and file of the FBI, and they have great respect for me. They want to see these changes every bit as much as I do, but more importantly, the American people are demanding a strong but fair system of justice. We want our FBI back, and that will now happen. I look forward to Kash Patel's confirmation so that the process of making the FBI great again can begin. Thank you. That is what Donald Trump has to say. Taterbong thinks that FBI, it is not true that the rank and file in the FBI want these changes. Dr. McRib says, qualified, doing a lot of heavy listing there. Warren Tinsley thinks, heavy lifting there. Warren Tinsley thinks Wray needs to be tried for treason. Drink Responsibly says, that's the president. Mac Vision 3D says, what a load of rubbish. Terry Bryan says, I do think Patel will be good. Janet Hill says, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Jim Maxon thinks Biden will pardon Wray on the way out. Hey, it's time for another snap poll. Will Biden give a preemptive pardon to Wray? That doesn't mean Biden thinks Wray did any crimes. What it would mean is that Biden thinks that the Trump White House, the Trump Justice Department could target Wray. So the assumption of this question, to be clear, I'm going to ask a poll question, which is, will Biden issue a preemptive pardon to Christopher Wray? And the assumption in this question is that Biden doesn't actually think Wray committed any crimes, but he thinks that the Justice Department of Trump might target him anyway. That is the idea of the question. Whether you agree with it or not, that's the idea of the question. So, will Biden give a preemptive pardon to Wray? Okay, so I am asking that in the chat right now, and I'll see what you guys think about this. It's an interesting question. One of our viewers brought that up. Hey, by the way, thanks so much to David Bozick, who says whether it's Wray or Patel, every FBI director should be required to pass the FBI's firearm qualification or not be considered for his position. For the position, current nominees are not. Why? I know nothing about that. Thank you, David Bozek, for your comment and your support. I really appreciate it. DJ Dungeon Master, thank you, DJ Dungeon Master. Please use the chat. Please, I love hearing topic suggestions. But the chat is not for that. The chat is discussing the topic at hand. I said a little earlier, it's possible we'll do a stream about drone stuff. Although I don't think there's any possibility that Iran has parked a ship off the coast of the U.S. without the U.S. knowing it and is sending drones over New Jersey for a month and a half. So I think there's no possibility that's true. But At the same time, who knows? Maybe we'll do a stream on the drones at some point. But thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, DJ Dungeon Master. Thank you also to John Cassidy. That's so nice of you. John says, pardons are a bad precedent to set. This will allow any president to have those under him commit any crimes or underhanded deed with no repercussions. They'll just get a pardon. Horrible idea. Now, to be clear, presidents have had this power to issue preemptive pardons, but maybe John Cassidy is saying that if Biden issues preemptive pardons, that would make it more likely that future presidents might do it, maybe. Thank you, John, for your support. Thank you also to Diamond Post, our new member. And thank you, DJ Dungeon Master, for the memberships. That's so nice of you, DJ Dungeon Master. Hey, if somebody gives you a gift membership or a gift sub, please thank them for that. Thank you. And thanks also Wheelie HD for subscribing. All right. So I want to talk a bit about Kash Patel, who is Trump's nominee to replace Wray. Before I do that, though, really quick, I had showed you quickly this article here from the Washington Post. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Just some details here from the Washington Post article. They say that Wray took over as FBI director in 2017, appointed by Trump during Trump's first term. Trump had fired James Comey as the bureau under Comey investigated whether Trump associates coordinated with Russia to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. Let's see here. Christopher Wray has repeatedly pushed back against critics of his FBI, trying to assure the public that the bureau is not political and that its employees conduct their work by the book. Wray was confirmed by the Senate 92-5 in 2017. The 5 votes against him were all Democrats. Throughout his confirmation hearing and tenure, Wray has said he would not pledge his loyalty to Trump. Let's see. Hold on a second here. Trump and his allies criticized Wray and the FBI especially sharply after FBI agents conducted a court-approved search for classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, Trump's home and private club. Their incendiary rhetoric prompted violent threats against the FBI, with Wray confiding to senior law enforcement officials that he was very angry about the attacks on the FBI, the Post reported on the time. And last year, Wray told Congress, it seems somewhat insane to me, he said, to suggest he was biased against conservatives, given that he was a Republican appointed by another Republican. Okay, we should talk a little about Kash Patel. Who is this nominee that Trump has nominated to be in Wray's place? Hang on a second here. Ooh, I have Give me a moment. Give me a moment here. I'm pulling up an article about it, about Kash Patel. Need 2 seconds. I need 2 seconds. I don't think we really had a stream where we discussed the Kash Patel nomination, so it's good that we discuss it. Okay, I got something for you. I have something for you. Here is an article from AP the day he nominated Kash Patel. Trump taps Kash Patel for FBI director. There's a picture of Kash Patel, an ally who would aid in his effort to upend law enforcement. Trump announced about 10 days ago that he would nominate Kash Patel to serve as FBI director, turning to a fierce ally to upend America's premier law enforcement agency to rid the government of perceived conspirators. It is the latest bombshell Trump has thrown at the Washington establishment and a test for how far Senate Republicans will go in confirming his nominees. Oh, before I get into this, though, I asked you guys, we did a poll. Oh, no. Did I miss the result on Twitch? What was the result on Twitch? Did I post it on Twitch or did I not post it on Twitch? Hold on a second. Hey, Twitch. Hey, Twitch. Did I post the poll there? It was 50-50. Okay, our Twitch viewers, Darth Iraq and LCS Fox, say it was 50-50. So I had asked you guys, would Biden give a preemptive pardon to Christopher Wray, thinking not that he had committed a crime, but that maybe the Trump White House, the Trump Justice Department would go after Christopher Wray and charge him with something. So on Twitch, they said 50-50 from what the viewers said, that Biden would give Wray a pardon. Now on YouTube, I'll show you. Sorry, sometimes I do the polls and I get distracted and I forget, unfortunately, for a few minutes. Over on YouTube, the result was 68-32. 68% of you on YouTube think that Trump will give a preemptive pardon to Christopher Wray. We'll have to see. Maybe towards the end of Biden's term in January, he will issue some preemptive pardons. Yeah, Biden, not Trump. Will Biden give preemptive pardon? Sorry if I misspoke. Nan B thinks he won't. Oh, by the way, thank you to Crazy Yoda for your support. Crazy Yoda says, I think using outsiders instead of the same stale suits that have been in government for years is a good thing. Reference Patel. Also, hang on a moment here. Give me 2 seconds. We're going to talk about Kash Patel. Who is Kash Patel? He could be the new director of the FBI. Here. So again, there's a picture of him right there. Is the other picture of him? No. Here you go. There's a picture of him from AP. Uh-oh. There we go. So Trump announced he would nominate fierce ally Kash Patel to aid in upending law enforcement. AP reports the selection of Patel is keeping in Trump's view that the government's law enforcement and intelligence agencies require a radical transformation and his stated desire for retribution against supposed adversaries. It shows how Trump, still fuming over years of federal investigations that shadowed his first administration and later led to his indictment, is moving to place atop the FBI and Justice Department close allies he believes will protect rather than scrutinize him. This is according to AP. And then if you look at this article from 10 days ago, it says the announcement means FBI Director Wray must either resign or be fired. Well, today, Wray said he is resigning in January. And AP says the nomination of Kash Patel sets up what is likely to be an explosive confirmation battle in the Senate. Not long after Trump's first pick to lead the Justice Department, Matt Gaetz, withdrew his nomination. Patel is a lesser-known figure, but his nomination was still expected to cause shockwaves. He's embraced Trump's rhetoric about a deep state. He has called for a comprehensive house cleaning of government workers who are disloyal to Trump, and he has referred to journalists as traitors, promising to try to prosecute some reporters. Okay. Remember also, Trump has also raised the prospect of pushing his selections through without Senate approval, using a congressional loophole that allows him to make appointments when the Senate is not in session. Let's see here. Oh, also, in his final months in office, Trump had unsuccessfully pushed the idea of installing Patel as the deputy director of the FBI or CIA in an effort to strengthen Trump's control of the intelligence community. William Barr, Trump's attorney general, wrote in his memoir that he told then Chief of Staff Mark Meadows that an appointment of Patel as deputy FBI director would happen over my dead body. Trump's former Attorney General William Barr wrote in his book, Patel had virtually no experience that would qualify him to serve at the highest level of the world's preeminent law enforcement agency. I'll get to some comments in a second. I just want to read a little more of this AP article. Patel's past proposals, if carried out, would lead to convulsive change for the FBI. He has called for dramatically reducing the FBI's footprint, a perspective that sets him apart from earlier directors who have sought additional resources for the FBI. He has suggested closing down FBI headquarters in Washington and reopening it the next day as a museum of the deep state, Trump's pejorative catch-all for the federal bureaucracy. And though the Justice Department in 2021 halted the practice of secretly seizing reporters' phone records during leak investigations, Patel has said he intends to aggressively hunt down government officials who leak information to reporters and change the law to make it easier to sue journalists. During an interview with Steve Bannon last December, Patel said he and others will go out and find the conspirators, not just in the government, but in the media. He said, "We are going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections," referring to the 2020 presidential election in which Biden defeated Trump. He said, "We're going to come after you, whether it's criminally or civilly. We'll figure that out, but yeah, we're putting you all on notice." Okay. There's some other background on Patel. I want to take some comments here. Typically, though not always, presidents retain the director they've inherited. Biden, for example, kept Wray from the Trump administration. Former President Obama asked Robert Mueller to stay on an extra 2 years, even though Mueller was tapped by Bush. Okay. Let's take some comments from you guys. Jeff Cook says, sounds like Kash might know where the bodies are buried. Fred Flintstone says, love it, let the worms squirm. That's Biad says, this is childish revenge. GMA Nana says, Kash is going to kick A. Laser 314 says, there goes freedom of the press. Dr. McRib says, LOL, they're still sore about the 2020 election. Great One on Twitch thinks Kash is a great choice and thinks he has a much deeper legal background than Wray did. You can see here in the article here, it says something about his background. It says Patel, the child of Indian immigrants and a former public defender, spent several years as a Justice Department prosecutor before catching the Trump administration's attention as a staffer for the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. The chairman of that committee at the time, Devin Nunes, was a strong Trump ally who tasked Patel with running the committee's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 campaign. I'm going to kind of skim through some of this. The Russia investigation fueled Patel's suspicions of the FBI, the intelligence community, and also the media, which he has called the most powerful enemy the United States has ever seen. Patel then had roles in the National Security Council and later as Chief of Staff to Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller. He continued as a loyal Trump lieutenant even after Trump left office, accompanying Trump into court during his criminal trial in New York and asserting to reporters that Trump was the victim of a constitutional circus. Fred Flintstone says he's a former prosecutor. He knows his way around. You don't need to be an agent to run the FBI, just knowledge of laws. Thank you so much to Ohio Rando, who says, Ohio Rando says whenever a descriptive language is used in, quote, news, it's always a tell about political leaning and loyalties. Media is often factual, not truthful. Thank you, Bass300. who says, will any department heads survive the inauguration, or is Trump cleaning house? I could see leaving anyone in place as a potential threat. Not leaving anyone in place? I don't know enough about all of the people. I mean, certainly the cabinet, traditionally, presidents just replace those people. FBI director sometimes is not replaced, but Trump is replacing them. I don't know which officials what Trump might keep, and whether that might be more or less than others, as you were suggesting. Also, a quick thanks to our moderators. I really appreciate our moderators being here. We have K-Body is moderating, who's normally over there on Facebook, but Facebook is not working today. So thanks, Kay. Good to see you there over on YouTube. Roberts May Queen, Ruth Krafasi over on YouTube, Linda Belk and Larry on X. On Twitch, we have our moderators, A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, David Green Hearsay, McBridges, and Surly Dev. And also, thanks to our Facebook mods, even though Facebook is not working today. Let me just do a quick check and make sure there's no breaking updates on this. We're going to tell you a little more about Kash Patel. Hang on one moment here. BNO News Live, by the way, says that Hana Kobayashi, the missing woman from Hawaii, has been found safe, her family says. I'm not going to get into that right now, but BNO News Live says her family says that Hana Kobayashi, the missing woman from Hawaii, has been found safe. For those of you following that story. Okay. Oh, hang on one moment. Hang on one moment here. Okay, let's see here. Just have to do one thing. There we go. We are bringing you live coverage of the FBI Director Christopher Wray saying he is going to resign rather than have Trump fire him when Trump takes office. Trump had already said he was going to nominate somebody else, Kash Patel, to be FBI Director. Wray says he will step down, he will stop serving in January before Trump takes office. Here is, there might even be a video I can show you about Kash Patel. Hang on a second. This is from Reuters. I bet I can show you. Hey, I have a video about Kash Patel I can show you. That's kind of neat. Let's show you that. Oops, hold on. Some of our viewers were saying, who is Kash Patel? Which is an understandable question. Well known to some, not well known to others. All right, I'm going to play this right now for you. Here we go. I have it right here. Oh, here we go. One moment. One moment. All right, here is a video about Kash Patel from this Reuters article, Trump picks loyalist Kash Patel to lead FBI. Can learn a little more about Kash Patel here. Right here. Hopefully this works. I'm going to hit play right now.
U.S. President-elect Donald Trump said on Saturday he wants former national security official Kash Patel to lead the FBI, signaling plans to carry out his threat to eject the Bureau's current director, Christopher Wray. 44-year-old Patel is a Trump loyalist who advised both the Director of National Intelligence and Secretary of Defense during the Republicans' first term in the White House. He has previously called for stripping the FBI of its intelligence-gathering role and purging its ranks of any employee who refuses to support Trump's agenda.
That victim is Donald J. Trump.
In a September interview on a conservative podcast, Patel said, quote, "The biggest problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopen it the next day as a museum of the deep state." Current Director Wray's term does not expire until 2027. FBI directors are appointed to 10-year terms by law as a means of insulating the Bureau from politics. Trump himself appointed Wray to the role during his first term. But Wray has since come under fire from Trump and his supporters, who have accused the FBI and other federal agencies of weaponizing their law enforcement to silence critics on the right and target political enemies. It was under Wray that the FBI carried out a court-approved search at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate to look for classified documents. Wray has also faced criticism for his role overseeing a directive by Attorney General Merrick Garland aimed at working to protect local school boards from violent threats and harassment. An FBI spokesperson did not directly comment on Patel's nomination on Saturday, saying, quote, "Every day the men and women of the FBI continue to work to protect Americans from a growing array of threats. Director Wray's focus remains on the men and women of the FBI, the people we do the work with, and the people we do the work for." The appointment will need Senate approval. There will likely be pushback against Patel's nomination by Senate Democrats and possibly even some Republicans.
We had asked you guys in a poll earlier in the broadcast if Kash Patel would be confirmed by the Senate, and the majority of you said yes. You can see Trump picks loyalist Kash Patel to head FBI. There's a picture of Kash Patel from Reuters right there. Tom Mix says Kash has to uncover those pulling the strings and tell Trump. Breton Maybe says he will be confirmed. Rusty Craig says Wray will pay unless he is pardoned. Frantech says this country is so screwed. Rita thinks he will not be confirmed. Let me show you, Hasseldehoff says, real life apprentice. Let me show you a little more about Christopher Wray. About Kash Patel. This is a Reuters article about Patel. Patel has previously called, Patel who during Trump's term, advised both the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense, has previously called for stripping the FBI of its intelligence gathering role and purging its ranks of any employee who refuses to support Trump's agenda. Will he fire employees at the FBI if they're not big Trump supporters, or they don't support his agenda, whatever that ends up being? Patel said in an interview in September, the problem the FBI has come out of its intel shops. I'd break that component out of it. I'd shut down the FBI Hoover building on day one and reopen it the next day as a museum of the deep state. And he says, and I take the 7,000 employees that work in that building and send them across America to chase down criminals. Go be cops, your cops, go be cops. Let's see here. Patel, 44, previously worked as a federal public defender and a federal prosecutor. He was instrumental in working to lead House Republicans' probe into the FBI's 2016 investigation into contacts between Trump's campaign and Russia during his stint as an aide to former House Intelligence Committee Chair Devin Nunes. After Trump left office in 2021, Patel was one of several people Trump designated as a representative for access to his presidential records. He was one of the few former Trump administration officials who claimed without evidence that Trump had declassified all the records in question. As a private citizen, Patel wrote a book called Government Gangsters, which Trump in 2023 declared would be used as a roadmap to end the deep state's reign. Patel's nomination is likely to garner pushback from Senate Republicans and possibly even some Senate Democrats and possibly even some Republicans. And then I'm not going to read this whole thing, but then a couple of other things about Kash Patel. This is from AP. They call him a steadfast Trump ally. They say Kash Patel has called for radical changes at the FBI and was a fierce and vocal critic of the FBI's work as it investigated ties between Russia and Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. It says he has been for years a loyal ally to Trump, finding common cause over their shared skepticism of government surveillance and the deep state, a pejorative catch-all used by Trump to refer to government bureaucracy. It says the close bond between Patel and Trump would depart from the modern-day precedent of FBI directors looking to keep presidents at arm's length. Patel has signaled through interviews and public statements a determination to upend the FBI and radically reshape its mission. He's called for dramatically reducing its footprint and limiting its authority, as well as going after government officials who disclose information to reporters. Some of this we've read earlier. He told Steve Bannon he and others will go out and find the conspirators not just in the government but in the media. And again, he said, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. He said, we're going to come after you, whether it's criminally or civilly. We'll figure that out, but yeah, we're putting you all on notice. His book, Government Gangsters, is a part memoir and part screed against the so-called deep state. Patel has also authored children's books that lionize, highly praise Trump. His children's book called The Plot Against the King features a thinly veiled Hillary Clinton as the villain going after King Donald, while Kash plays a wizard who thwarts her plans. Patel has been a pitchman for a variety of products marketed to Trump supporters, says AP. One dietary supplement he's promoted claims to be a COVID vaccine detoxification system. He is a favorite of MAGA media. He's been a regular guest on right-wing podcasts and live stream online shows hosted by Steve Bannon, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, and others. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me get some of your thoughts on Christopher Wray resigning. Take some more comments from you guys. What do you think about Christopher Wray resigning? And because, it has to be because Trump said he's going to fire him. And Kash Patel being the new next nominee. Bad Men Productions says, I would like to see the illustrations in that book. Zenny Alice thinks Kash Patel is a fanatic. Just Me thinks the Trump cabinet is amazing. Stacy Chitchats thinks Wray needs to go. Chemo thinks Trump will be all about retribution. He cares nothing about the American people. Wow, we have some different opinions in our chat today. Mona L says, "Oh, stop. Kennedy pricked his brother and he did a good job." Stewie thinks Patel is the right choice for the FBI. Nikki Newark says, "Why are people acting surprised that Trump's nominees are pro-Trump? Were any other president's nominees against who nominated them? English Militia says, "It's a real pressure to watch the U.S. self-destruct from the outside looking in. Please carry on." Popeye thinks Kash Patel is a goofball and will get grilled and quit. Gleggy says, "Of all the appointments Trump has made, Kash is the wildest, and I love Trump," said Gleggy. Todd USA says, "This is what the people wanted. This is why we voted for Trump." All right, give me a moment. Cart thinks Patel will run into a lot of headwinds in the FBI by career professionals. If he does get confirmed, he'll probably quit under a year. Will he fire a lot of people in the FBI? Oh, let me just do this real quick. Let me show you something else. This is kind of interesting. Hold on a moment. Hold on a moment. Now, this is from the Washington Post. They're not big Trump fans, as you know. But I wanted to this could be relevant to what Kash Patel does in the FBI if he gets confirmed. The Washington Post says Kash Patel has an enemies list centered on grievance, it says. And it says... To start, it said, next week, Cassidy Hutchinson will turn 28. She interned briefly on Capitol Hill before taking a job at the White House. She worked in the Trump administration for a little over 2 years. This, according to Cash, and she also, she testified, I believe she came out and said that she didn't support Trump in the election. If I have that right, she certainly testified to the January 6th committee. I know that. Kash Patel's, the Washington Post says she has a spot on one of Kash Patel's 60 members of the executive branch deep state. Should he be confirmed to run the FBI, as President-elect Trump desires, Hutchinson and those 59 others could find that their stints as government employees, however brief, earned them federal criminal investigations, not because they compromised the public trust, but because they ran afoul of Trump or Patel. Patel's list was delineated in his 2023 book, Government Gangsters, which casts anti-Trump and anti-Patel forces as wrong or evil or both. This is an article from the Washington Post by Philip Bump, I believe. She offered, again, Cassidy Hutchinson offered public testimony about what she observed as Trump tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election. That is the reason she is on the list, says Philip Bump. Anyways, what will happen if And Philip Bump with Washington Post thinks that Trump selected Patel to lead the FBI not because he is experienced at managing large organizations or has any particular insights into law enforcement. Philip Bump thinks he doesn't, and the application of blind justice. Philip Bump of the Post thinks that Kash Patel wants to effect justice for Trump, and Patel's job would be to exact the retribution Trump promised his supporters. So it's a big question. We don't know if Trump's appointments, for example, Pam Bondi, Attorney General, Kash Patel at the FBI, if they're confirmed, will they start going after critics of Trump with criminal investigations? Do not know. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Trump takes office. John Doe says, Wray is a snake, should have been gone long ago. Doug Ballard thinks that article was correct. A lot of different opinions in the chat today. Yu Yun Lin, was it? Kind of flew by, says we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's see. Nation Rising thinks this will end horribly in Trump fashion. Oscar Delta says if you want to disrupt the system, you need disruptors. Richie Ricardo on Twitch says justice for Trump, but what about the rest of us? Excessive Forest says these guys are going to clean house. Diddy La 85 says they are scared and that's a good thing. Blue Lotus says Wray will retire with his $100,000 taxpayer pension and get $1 million consulting job. Hey, thanks to Martin Gingrich. Martin says, I think you appreciate your support, Martin. Martin says, if his enemies list is of people who broke the law, go for it. Thank you, Bent Fork 2000, for being a member. Bent Fork says, glad to see the zoo animals we have now gone. Thank you, McLean33, for your support, who says, I'm concerned Kash Patel will become a yes man and use the FBI as his own toolbox to take revenge. He comes off as Trump's version of Heinrich Mueller. That's from McLean33. Thanks also, Pale Rider 747, for your support. Well, we have some differences of opinion. All right. Blue Lotus thinks Wray was a puppet of the corrupt White House. We did a couple polls. Jimmy thinks the Washington Post is propaganda. That article was like kind of more of an opinion piece. Some of their articles are more kind of straight news. But I thought, it might be interesting for you to see an opinion of somebody who thinks that this is what of retribution is why Trump nominated Patel. But ultimately, we'll have to see, does he get confirmed and what does he do? Oh, hold on a second. Sorry. Is this anything? For those of you following the drone story, we might do a stream on this at some point. United States Northern Command says we are aware and monitoring the reports of unauthorized drone flights in the vicinity of military installations of New Jersey, to include Picatinny Arsenal and Naval Weapons Station Earl, and we refer you to those installations for information on any efforts they may be conducting to ensure the safety and security of their personnel and operations. Local law enforcement and the FBI are currently investigating. U.S. National Northern Command conducted a deliberate analysis of the events in consultation with other military organizations and intra-agency partners, and at this time, we have not been requested to assist with these events. If these incidents require additional Department of Defense assistance, the Secretary of the Military Department or a relevant. DoD component head concerned can coordinate with U.S. Northcom for an enhanced or increased response. U.S. Northcom, in conjunction with our interagency partners, will continue to assess further information and is prepared to respond when asked or should the situation escalate to threaten any DoD institutions. So they're saying that they're not involved in the investigation right now, or it looks like, into the response right now. We may do a stream on that at some point. All right. Well, guys, hold on a second. One of our viewers said, hold on a second here. There's one other thing I want to check. So just for the fun of it, if you want to see what a popular betting site has for odds of Kash Patel getting confirmed, Polymarket, which is a betting site, which I believe might not be legal in the US, so I'm not claiming it is. Also, they don't sponsor this channel or anything, but just to show you, I know some of you look at these odds sometimes, the bettors on Polymarket have made Kash Patel an 81% chance favorite of being confirmed. They have a list there. So you can see they have Pete Hegseth at 69, Tulsi Gabbard at 69, RFK Jr. 73. These numbers go up and down just based on what side people bet on the site. So I just thought, again, they don't sponsor the channel. I'm not telling you to use them. My understanding is that in the US you're not allowed to use them. But I'm just showing you what the bettors on Polymarket have put the number at for Kash Patel. Just to show you, we asked you guys earlier, and it was around 3/4, I think, who thought Patel would be confirmed. Ralph Macchio says there's nothing basing those numbers on anything. Well, what they're based on is what the bettors over at Polymarket are betting on. All right. Hold on a second here. All right, guys, I think we have covered the basics here. We've covered Wray resigning. We've covered a little bit about who Kash Patel is. Certainly, we may be covering Kash Patel more if we see confirmations hearings for him in January. But I think we're going to wrap up this live stream. Again, I'm in Mexico City, but if big news happens, we will cover it. There might be an odd time where I can't get on the air, but I'll do my best to get on the air. We might do a drone stream soon at some point. But I am going to wrap this up. One of our viewers, JM, says Biden will preemptively pardon Wray. We did a poll on that, and most of you, I think it was 50-50 on Twitch and about 65-35 on YouTube that he would give a pardon to Wray, a preemptive pardon. But I'm going to wrap up this stream. I really appreciate you guys being here for this stream and watching the channel. Subscribe and follow the channel, Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. Really interesting comments from you guys today. Oh, you know what? I know there's a lot of comments I missed. Hold on a second here. I just want to check something real quick. I'm sorry if I didn't read your comment. We read a bunch of comments today. Kiwi NZ says, do you think Biden will pardon himself preemptively? It's an interesting question from Kiwi NZ. I believe it is not a settled question legally whether a president can pardon themselves. It's an interesting question. I have no idea. Maybe Biden thinks current law gives him enough legal protection from any kind of charges that the Trump Justice Department might lob at him or charge him with. But that's an interesting question. I don't know. Good question. We'll see. Let's see here. Let's see here. Sorry, I was just checking some of the other messages here. Thanks, X-Ray, for sending. We read it earlier, Trump's comment on True Social. Thanks, X-Ray, for passing that along as well. Okay. Thank you for watching. Again, Agenda Free TV, subscribe, follow. Follow me on X for news updates. Also, I am posting on X during the day and evening news updates about various stories. At Lookner on X is where you can follow me for that. And also, hey, turn the notifications on for this channel. We have a notification system that we've set up. It works really good to let you know when we're going live, because I don't know when breaking news is going to happen, so I can't tell you in advance. But we do it through Discord. The mods will post the link to the notifications. It's free to sign up for the notifications. So I would suggest signing up for those. And also at the same link, if you want, we have a chat where you can chat with other viewers on Discord. It's also free. A lot of our viewers like doing that, so check that out as well. Thanks to our Discord mods too. And thanks to all of our moderators for being here. Really appreciate all of our mods. They're the ones who let us have chat rooms and let people with different views come together and chat in a respectful manner in the chat, which I love. Sarah55, K-Body on YouTube, Ruth Krafasi, thanks for being here. And Roberts May Queen over on X, Linda Belk and Larry. We couldn't be on Facebook today because Facebook, thanks to all our Facebook mods, but Facebook was not working properly. Hopefully they fix that soon. Maybe they fixed it already. We'll see next stream. Thanks also to our Twitch mods, A Moment of Lovely, Big Ball of Yarn, David Green. I got that Fire Surly Dev. And also any other mods I might have missed. Thanks to everybody who donated. That's so nice of you guys. You are the ones who allow this channel to exist with your support. I think I thanked everybody. But that's super nice of you. If you ever want to donate, you can go to agendafree.tv. Agendafree.tv. And a reminder also, I do have a personal channel where I am posting some videos once in a while from Mexico City while I'm visiting here. If you want to check those out, you can go to my personal channel, and I post non-news stuff over there. We sometimes do non-news live streams there. If you ever want to check that out, that is called Lookner on YouTube and Look Nerd with a D on Twitch. I did a couple live streams yesterday from Mexico City on my personal channel. Look Nerd on YouTube, Look Nerd on Twitch. Hey, thanks to our Twitch subscribers. Really appreciate your support for the channel. People like Wall Street and Shaggy, Big Ball of Yarn, Holistic, Jack's Animals, Wheelie HD, Uncle Floyd GG, Gina Pina, Zini Alice, Richie Ricardo. Thank you. And our Facebook subscribers as well. By the way, for gift memberships in YouTube, Tank D said they didn't get gift memberships. You do need to, if you want to get a gift membership on YouTube, there's a certain setting you need to put on there's a certain setting you need to change on your account or make sure it's on. So the mods can tell you about that over there on YouTube. Thanks to all of our, hopefully I got everybody over there on Twitch, all of our Twitch subscribers. Holistic, thanks for being a subscriber. All of our other subscribers there too. Thanks to all of our Facebook subscribers as well, and our YouTube members like Janet Burnett, Rain Tarrant, Love My Kindle, Crazy Yoda, UV Lightning, Mama of Six, Jesse's Girl, J.K. Senar, Susie Irish, Jane Jones, Ricky Corneau, Waltham, Stacy. Hold on, it flew by. I didn't even see the full name. Oh no. Todd USA, Hassel DeHoff, Riri Patton, Stacy something, Diamond Post, Waltham, where is it here? Marissa Pugliese, Dennis Van Orman, By the Sea, Hobgoblin, thank you. Stacy Bashford, Matt from Florida, Crazy Yoda, Fagan411, Desjarlais, J.K. Sinar, all of our YouTube members, thank you. And all of our other viewers, Mr. Kitty, Tank D, Utmost Disgust, thanks for watching. Tuck F over there on Twitch, thanks for watching. All right, really appreciate you guys watching the channel and chatting and sending me updates. All right, that is it for now. We will bring you more live coverage of breaking news as it happens, and also, I'm sure we'll have more coverage on this when the Trump confirmation hearings start. And I would like to be able to cover those confirmation hearings. I'm guessing I might have video of them, so we might be covering those starting in January. All right, that is it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.